Hey everyone. Surprise, I'm by myself. At least right now, I'm by myself. I don't know if that'll continue or not as the show goes on. But it's kind of last minute here because I wasn't sure. I didn't think, I should say, I was going to do a show tonight and I was going to pass it up. The reason why I was going to pass it up was because I've had a pretty bad cold lately. I still have it. You may be able to hear it, maybe not. And the coughing's got a lot better. Taking some Mucinex, which is helping me, a cough suppressant and decongestant. And also, I'm dealing with a bad toothache, which was acting up today too, but is now, for the moment anyway, quieted down. So, those things come and go. So, anyway, I didn't make any announcement here. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to do a show, and I didn't notify my usual co-hosts, Tom and Tim. Well, Tom told me he might not be able to make it tonight, so I knew that. But I didn't bother telling Tim, giving him the heads up, because as far as I knew, I wasn't going to do a show tonight. But here I am. I was feeling a little better, so I'm here to do it. This is all potluck. Whatever happens, happens. Okay, so I'll just do it myself for a while. Depending on what we talk about, or maybe somebody will come on. Who knows? Maybe we'll get 4D Man. Maybe we'll get John from last week. Yeah, hit the like button just for luck. Now, Beetle Eddie, you're saying hello to me, but also Tom, Tim, and 4D Man, and nobody's here yet. I don't know what the Ticketmaster thing is all about. So you'll have to inform me of what that is, because I'm lost. Howdy. So the worst part of it is I haven't seen anything. Are you surprised? I haven't seen anything, although I do have sort of something I wanted to talk about a little bit, movie related, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, Cherry Carter watched The Others. Yes, I remember that one. Nicole Kidman. I remember thinking it was pretty good. I saw it in the movie theater, and then I had an urge to buy the DVD. It was good enough that I wanted to buy the DVD and own it. But then somebody borrowed the DVD, and I've never seen it since. It was 20 years ago already, huh? Wow. Ticketmaster was ruled a monopoly. I really don't know how that's meant in the case of Ticketmaster. What does that mean? So anybody here watching that can mention movies, anything you want to mention about movies or movie related, TV shows, movie related, that would be fine. And again, people, or if you like to come up, you can come up as well. Follow the link. I got a link up there. But again, I reserve the right to let people come up who I know. I don't want to take chances otherwise. It's just the way I am. So, what's going on, Rocco? Yeah. So, what can I say? TV wise, I'm still watching Frasier. We're up to season 5. And I still say with the TV show Frasier, I like the characters. I like the premise of the show. But I don't see that many episodes that I say, boy, that's a really good episode. No classics, really. Although, it's entertaining on its own. I never saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Hello, Penny Lane. What's going on? Thank you for reminding me, because I did hear that. I did hear that Ringo was on the show tonight. And I totally heard yesterday. I totally forgot about it today until you reminded me now. So I would have forgotten it. Of course, these days you can just watch it on YouTube after. But I wonder if there's any way to cut Jimmy Kimmel out of it. Is there? I don't know about that. Okay. In April of 2026, a jury verdict was reached which found a Ticketmaster held an illegal monopoly which violated federal and state antitrust laws and enabled Ticketmaster to overcharge in ticket prices. That's good news if they're going to change that. And look at this. We have 4D Man here to help out. Hello, 4D Man.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. I got a little bit of water here, so cheers.
Hey.
My water. Okay. Yeah, so I wasn't planning on the show today because I wasn't feeling great, but I kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's I'm thinking it's like rebound, but I can't think of what it is. But what do you do when you do something and you have rebounded? I rallied. I knew it was an R word. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I felt melancholy, so I watched To Kill a Mockingbird. Great stuff. Yeah, I seen it. Good movie. Great story. Great book and everything. Okay, now I'm glad that you say you liked The Creature Walks Among Us, because that happens to be my favorite of the Creature from the Black Lagoon trilogy. It always has been a favorite of mine. And it's a movie most people do not like very much. And Bay of Blood. Now, wasn't that? You saw it at a theater. You saw The Creature Walks Among Us at a theater. Well, Bay of Blood, isn't that Twitch of the Death Nerve? I think that's another title for Twitch of the Death Nerve. If I'm thinking of the same movie, which in itself, if it's what I'm thinking it is, it's kind of a sort of like Friday the 13th movie. I don't know. I'll see if Tim Allen pops on because, I didn't tell him. We're not trying to avoid you, Tim. I want you up here. Would I lie to you? Show I laugh aloud at our TV. I don't know what that is. Is that an Australian TV show?
On our TV.
Yeah. Let's see. Hello, Mark. How you doing? Nice haircut. Everybody tells me that. Thank you. I'll say what I say. I don't like it, but yeah. The Rock with Connery. Cage? Okay. Fast Times at Ridgemont High from 1982 is playing at my local, sort of local cinema on Saturday. And if the girlfriend wanted to go, I'd go, but I could take it or leave it. I mean, I've seen it. I know the movie. I just thought maybe I'd go to the theater for it. Okay. A movie, Two of Us. Oh, I heard of this. Yeah. Two of Us, the Beatles song plays in the movie. What was the name of it? Boy. It's a new movie. Not Hail Mary. It's something like Hail Mary. Okay, there's the full thing about Ticketmaster. That's good news. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm.
I had to buy that famous Monsters of Filmland, that one of the ones that Mikey sent to you.
Oh, really? Why?
Those ones that had the Bride of Frankenstein photographs, and there was one of Ernest Thesiger showing what looked like production photographs from the movie he was doing, Bride of Frankenstein. And I've never seen that before, and I just thought, I got to hunt that one down. So I found one. It's not arrived yet, but I found one.
Oh, I hope it's in better condition than mine is.
No, it's worse.
So, Mikey, thanks. I appreciate it, Mikey. No, one of them has a spine is almost gone on it.
Yeah, and I kind of expect that, regardless of what grading the seller puts on it. I kind of expect those kind of things. And there's a big 2 and 6 sticker. 2 and 6 used to be the the price in English old money, 2 shillings and sixpence, a big round indelible sticker on the front of it, which I won't even try to take off when it arrives. But I don't mind all that. It all adds to the sort of period history to me.
Okay. Okay. Get Danny. Well, that's up to him. I gotta save my energy for Wednesday for him.
This came only yesterday. This poster.
Very nice.
The Eiger Sanction, 1975.
Yeah. Nice. It's always like to see the different array of posters that you put up there. Yeah, okay, yes, Bay of Blood. Yeah, they call it a proto slasher. It pretty much laid out the slasher formula. Yes, I'm pretty sure Bay of Blood is the alternate title for what's really known as Twitch of the Death Nerve. Somebody could look that up for me if you want. But Would I Lie to You is British game show. Celebrities tell an outrageous story. The opposing team have to decide if it's true or a lie. Oh, so it is Project Hail Mary is the name of the movie. Okay. 4D in the house. That's right.
Hey, Halloween Rock.
I saw the Eiger Sanction a year ago. I liked it, but the twist at the end, where a character's a bad man, didn't make sense.
Well, they gave him a limp. That's usually the sign of a bad man. They just give him a limp.
That's what you got to do, right?
Yeah, that's what they gave George Kennedy at the end. You're limping, Ben, was Clint Eastwood's line that was supposed to tip us all off.
You will have to watch my video. No, you don't have to watch it. I picked up a Joan Jett and the Blackhearts live album. That's all I bought. Okay.
And there's a nice score by John Williams on the Eiger Sanction as well. Really nice score.
Oh. I said Sancton, I think Sanction did. Hey, you two, just picked up Kilt Man, a couple of T-shirts, and one has the Bride of Frankenstein on it.
Oh, cool. Kilt Man is the YouTube fellow who does movie reviews from vintage movies. Doesn't do live streams, but he just does.
I can't show you my shirt all the way. I got Lugosi on here. But of course, you don't see anything because I sit forward and all you see is cobwebs on the top. Maybe someday I'll sit farther back, but not yet. Let's see. I will. If you're talking about the brand new Mummy, I will not see it. No way. One of the worst movies I've ever seen, in my opinion, of course, was the 1999 Mummy with Brendan Fraser. It is the epitome for me of everything that's wrong with modern cinema. I hate it. Non-stop, crazy, mind-numbing CGI slop and jokes, not taking it seriously. Too many, nudges in the ribs. So I hated the Mummies, the 1999. And then I didn't see the Tom Cruise one. Yeah. Hello, Douglas. And there's John. Hey, John. There should be a link if you like. Love Lugosi. Me too, yeah.
I want to see that Fistful of Dollars poster if John can dig it out.
Yeah, try to dig that out. Well, I'll tell you, one thing I wanted to talk about. I was kind of hoping Tim Allen would be here for this, but it's my fault because I told him a half hour before the show I decided to do it. I sent him a message, so I don't know if he must not have gotten it. But they've had, the movie series from the late 30s and 40s called Blondie.
That rings a bell.
Yeah.
Didn't she do all her own stunts or something, or am I getting her mixed up with somebody else?
No. Blondie doing a stunt. It's the cartoon, the comic, Blondie, the comic strip, which was made into movies, I think starting in 1938 and starring Penny Singleton and Arthur Lake, was it, who plays Dagwood Bumstead. And it's a comedy series. And I never saw those, even though I've seen plenty of things in my time, old stuff that I love. I never grew up with those. Somehow I didn't catch them on TV, and I know they're always on. Last night on TCM channel, they had two together. One of them was, oh, I had it in my mind. I think it was Blondie's Lucky Day, followed by Blondie in the Dough, meaning making money. And they're from, I think both were 1946. It went from 1938 to 1950, and they made 28 films. And I never watched them, but a few times over the years I put them on, and I just can't watch it. I can't do it. I put them on last night. I wasn't able to concentrate. I did other things. I'm like, that guy, Dagwood, I guess according to the comic strip, is supposed to be really klutzy and annoying and irritating, and that's what he is, to the point where I couldn't even enjoy the movie at all. So stupid, this guy. And I don't know, I felt like Blondie herself in the comic strip was kind of the ditzy one, maybe like I Love Lucy, maybe like a Lucille Ball type of ditzy wife or something. But it's apparently, from what I can see, it's the husband Dagwood that's the clown. And I'm talking about this like an 18 or 20-year-old would stumble upon something old and discover it for the first time, not know what it is, even though I go back always. But anyhow, I don't know if anybody here knows the series. I thought maybe Tim Allen, whenever I do talk to him, I'll mention it. Maybe he's seen some of them. I don't know, man.
What you just said about the Dagwood character, who's supposed to be meant to be annoying, but plays it so that he really is annoying to watch.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, well, actually, that for me is a weakness of the film The Odd Couple, is that Jack Lemmon gets to be as annoying as he is to Walter Matthau. To me, as a viewer, I really get annoyed once he's got his cold. I think he overdoes it, and it really annoys me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Let's go up a little bit here. Funny Face, which I haven't seen, with Audrey Hepburn and Fred Astaire in high definition. Yeah, George Kennedy could play a bad guy here and there.
Yeah, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. He was really good in that. He was a right bastard, actually, in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, wasn't he, now that I think of it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, if you say The Mummy was good in 99, we don't see eye to eye. And if you say the Tom Cruise version sucked, it must really suck. I don't know. I have not seen the big empty. Okay, here we go. Dagwood. I mean, is it Dogwood or Dagwood? Yeah, Bumstead, Penny Singleton. And it's weird because they didn't have television series, obviously, in the late 30s and 40s. And I was wondering what this was going to look like, the movie, when it starts with the credits. I like looking for things like that. And it starts, very much feels like a TV series. Dun, 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 it has this, it's Blondie and Dagwood, dun, 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 it has like this setup, like every movie apparently has the same intro, and they're setting it up like it looks like you're going to watch a television episode of comedy.
Is it meant to be like a Saturday matinee, like the old Flash Gordon serials?
Yeah, like stuff like that, I suppose. But those all feature length, though. I mean,
right, okay.
Feature length. I think 65, 70 minutes long. But anytime I've ever caught a glimpse of these Blondie movies on TV, sometimes I've caught them for 5-10 minutes. I think, boy, this looks terrible. So, and when you look up just the history, they've all got like 2 stars out of 4 stars. They're like average. I may try 2 of the. They say the first one, just called simply Blondie, from 1938, is supposed to be a good one, and also what's the other one? Blondie on a Budget is supposed to be a good one. And who was there's a big star that's in that. Was it Rita Hayworth? The memory's not that good. Somebody else was in that one. So they said that was good for that reason. Saw a documentary on King Tut.
King Tut.
It sounds like Steve Martin.
Yeah.
I'm eating meat and potatoes today, even though it's No Meat Monday, as I do every time too. I have double the helping just to make my point. Yes, exactly. Yes, Rocco, Henry Aldrich, exactly. Jimmy Lydon, exactly the same kind of thing. I'd like to see some of those because when I grew up on TV, they had one of them from the 1940s. I think it was 1943. The only one I ever saw, I think, called Henry Aldrich Haunts a House, and it's about a haunted house and bodies and all this thing. Not really horror, really strict horror. It's comedy with horror, but it's got some elements in it. And I have a really bad VHS 16 millimeter dupe that's very hard to watch. And that was so spoiled by DVD and Blu-ray and everything. And those films are like gone. It was a whole series from Paramount Pictures, much like the Blondie series, where they have, I don't know how many Henry Aldrich features they made, but there were a lot. I don't know, at least 7 to 10 of those, and some of these are gone, you don't ever see them. There's also like, what's the other one with Mickey Rooney, Andy Partridge? Was that right?
Andy Hardy.
Andy Hardy, yes. We watch the Blondie series all the time. Is it any good? I mean, and is the Blondie character, so far from what I gather, it's Blondie does this. Blondie on a budget. Blondie is in the dough. Blondie's lucky day. Blondie. And every time I watch this, it's the husband that's like the foolhardy main character. It should be Dagwood this, Dagwood that. I don't get it so much. I remember this. The start of the film. Henry. You have the mothers in one corner. It says Paramount Pictures, and you see the mother's face in the corner. It goes Henry Aldrich, and then you see on the bottom, "Coming, mother," and that's like the beginning over the logo. And then I love stuff like that. That's like patented for the whole series. I've seen some of the Andy Hardy series. Some of them are good. I think they're better than the Blondie series. I mean, you got, well, first of all, starting out with having Mickey Rooney helps, I think.
Well, when you're caught up with the chat and you feel like you're on top of it, I can show you, or I can show the chat the difference between the front of house 10x8 stills that you used to get and the what Americans call the lobby cards, which are a lot bigger.
Have you seen the College Girl Murders and the Terrible People? What is that?
No, isn't the College Girl Murders one of those Edgar Wallace films, Douglas, that were made in Germany but filmed in England? I'm guessing. It sounds that way. 1960s. I'm guessing.
I saw Shadows and Fog one time, and I remember liking it. What do you think of it? Do you remember it? Seen it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. Upstairs, I've got the poster, the front of house set, and the press book for most of Woody Allen's films, including that one. I liked it a lot. It's not full of laughs, but it's philosophically interesting, and the black and white photography is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The black and white photography, and it's very misty, like fog, shadowy and fog, like you know. Yeah. And I think there's a murderer or something. One line sticks out for me still. I haven't only seen it once. And I think there's a murderer or somebody. And it's also an all-star cast. There's a lot of cameos in there.
Yeah.
I think Fred Gwynn, Herman Munster might have been one of them, but there's a whole bunch of other ones too. And I remember Woody Allen, like he's in the night and he's worried about the killer. And I think he says, I don't know, they say the killer has the strength of 10 men. I have the strength of one very small boy with polio.
I think he does more hand-wringing in that film than in any other film he's ever done.
How long until dinner? Well, my girlfriend's home. Usually we eat about 7. Tonight I said 7:30, which means we got about an hour left here. And we're going to get them. When I get to the end, soon 4D, okay, I think we're going to be at the end right now. For now, let me just see. Oh, yeah, Mon Pa Kettle also. Yeah, I went through I have the Mon Pa Kettles, and I went through them, and I did enjoy those. There's a lot of series like that. One that I didn't enjoy very much was Francis the Talking Mule. I didn't like those too much, although I liked Mr. Ed, the TV show, the Talking Horse. But I didn't like Francis the Talking Mule too much. I like Mon Pa Kettle. I went through that whole series maybe the 90s or something like that. And yeah, I watched Svengoolie, but they're starting to change it around. They're having like there's other clowns on there, and they're starting to show movies that I don't want to see. Trying to change, Yes, Edgar Wallace. Okay, now what do you got 4D to show?
Okay, so I've had these ever since the film was released when I first saw it. So these are only 10 by 8s. That's the size.
Oh yeah, Battlefield. Okay.
Yeah, my internet connection isn't that great, so I'm not sure it'll be that well defined. But this I think, when did this film get released? Was it 73, Joe?
73.
Yeah. So I saw it at the time. Got this set for 75 pence from the Cinema Manager. That could have been one of my old school photographs quite easily. That one.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Now that sequence is from an omitted scene that is only available in the director's cut or the unrated cut, whatever they call it, and it's very important to the plot of the movie. I think it's better to watch that version.
Who deleted it? Was it censors' objections?
I don't know why they did it. It wasn't anything strong or a censorship. I don't know. I think maybe they thought it was too serious. It's a subplot involving the nuclear missile, the one you see in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. They're trying to set these mutants up as the ancestors of the ones we would later see in Beneath, and that's the control panel. And he instructs her, if we should lose the fight with the apes, you only have to delete the bomb with this button, and she's learning how to do it. And they decided to take that whole little subplot out, which I think hurt the intelligence of the film. I think they wanted more of a family-friendly movie without all that kind of thing.
I didn't know that. I've got the box set. So in my box set, will that scene not be in the box set?
It depends. If you have the version that says it has whatever they call the unrated cut or the director's cut, it would. It also has a few other things in it, but small things, It's the preferable version. That's not a very good shot from the back.
No, it's not, is it?
That's a good one.
There you go.
It's underrated, this movie. I don't care what anybody says. It's not a great movie, not a very good movie, but I enjoy it.
I can still remember my disappointment when I came out.
I know. It's no way. It is easy to be disappointed. It's easily the least of the lot if you're watching them.
So that's the last one. So just for people to compare. So those are, in my day, those were called front of house stills, but they're lobby cards, but they're 10 by 8. But the difference is in the size. So this
yeah.
You can see the difference.
I have some of those larger ones, 11 by 14, maybe.
Yeah, there's something like that, Joe. Yeah, and those are the ones that I learned to call lobby cards. But for the first 10 years of my collecting, from 1972 to 1982, I'd never seen this size before, and I never knew the term lobby cards. We just had these, and we called them front of house stills. So that's the difference between the two.
Well, now that I think of it, aren't most, well, at least in the States, aren't most traditional lobby cards 11 by 14 anyway, now that I think of it?
In the United States, I think that's the case, but in the UK, it's the opposite. It's 10 by 8s that are the usual. I guess because it's, smaller cinemas.
Yeah.
Smaller country. I really don't like it when you get a set of 8 and one of them is like a title card. I really don't like that. It makes me wonder whether it's been put in because they haven't got the 8th picture. But I've loved this film ever since I saw it in 1976, All the President's Men, and it's only partly because I'm a Watergate nut. I'm forgetting a lot of stuff now, but I used to know just about everything about the Watergate conspiracy you could possibly want to know. And this guy playing the editor-in-chief,
Jason Robards.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
I've still never seen that movie, as great as it is.
It's a once-a-year film for me, and this fellow was down on his luck at the time. He'd had a bad accident that put him out. He was a bit of an insurance risk, but he'd once done a big favor for Robert Redford, casting Robert Redford in Long Day's Journey into Night in about 1960. So Robert Redford, being one of the producers of this film, wanted to return the favor, and it turned out it was a favor to the entire film because he was magnificent in that role. Just magnificent. So that's Robert Redford in the underground car park where he gets to rendezvous with Deep Throat. He was pretty good cast, I thought, Redford in that film, and so was Dustin Hoffman as Carl Bernstein, the journalist Carl Bernstein. They were so chalk and cheese, those two actors and their preparations, but so were the actual journalists that they were playing. You know, and there's the story behind, this is the last one, the story behind All the President's Men is that Redford was so on the cutting edge that he was onto this story in 72 when the story broke. And he was thinking then in terms of making a film. So 4 years in advance, he was thinking of, would this turn out to be a film? And this was long before the outcome of Nixon's resignation. One of the things that he persuaded the two journalists to do when they wrote their book is to make the book different than the series of articles that they published in the Washington Post. So what Redford wanted them to do with the book is talk about their relationship with each other and the process of how they cooperated to break the news for a period of 2 years. So that's why the book, All the President's Men, reads a little bit like a novel. You still get all the facts of the Washington Post reporting, but it's got things like it was raining out, you know, it was dark and night and misty, so it kind of reads a little bit like a novel, and the tension between the two journalists, Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, is disclosed in the book that they wrote together about the compromises that they had to make. But the only reason they did that is because Redford pushed them in that direction, because he felt like it would be a better option for a movie. So that's where the money was going to lie. So that's why they did it. So that's how important Redford was to that whole scene. So there you go.
It's always a pleasure to see these things. Alrighty. Let's see now. Where are we at here? I went up again. God, we are so old. Thank God. Thank God. Who the hell would want to be born now? Are you kidding?
I really wouldn't.
You know, let's see. We would have all preferred it with Debbie Harry, Blondie. That's the problem with the title now. You hit Blondie, everybody says Debbie Harry. Let's see now. Where am I up to? I'm sorry here. Francis in the Navy, Clint Eastwood.
Francis in the Navy, Clint Eastwood.
Mickey Rooney's in one of them. I think he's in Francis in the Haunted House. He's not in all of them. Francis, the Talking Mule movies. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Ed came from the Francis movies. Yeah, that was the inspiration. That was inspired by that. And Richard Long was in Ma and Pa Kettle. Do you have a set of the Planet of the Apes trading cards? I do not. I have some. I have a few, but I don't have a set.
No, I do have the original front of house from Planet of the Apes from 1968. They're actually right. They're actually right. I'm pointing at them now, but they're on the wall. They're framed on the wall.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen. Eddie says, hello. And it looks like we have a guest. One of our, well, I say guest, but he's one of our main guys that's able to make it. It's Tom.
Hey.
Hey,
Hello,
Tom.
What's going on,
Tom.
guys?
Yeah, late start here. Yeah, but I was able to rally through. So here I am. What's
Yes,
going
you
on,
had a
Tom?
little. Your throat was bugging you the other day, wasn't it? With
Yeah,
the
and
live.
toothache, cough, cold, throat, toothache. So, but I did better. I'm doing a little better right now. So tomorrow I
I'm
go to
gonna.
the dentist.
Okay, I'm going to turn this. I'm gonna switch that light off real quick. So give me a second.
Alrighty. Let's see now.
Well, if you like, while he's switching the light off,
Go ahead.
I can show you. These used to be quite cheap to
Oh,
get.
wait.
This is an original poster from Witness for the Prosecution, the Billy Wilder film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's Belgian poster, and when I used to go to the film fairs, say they started round about the early 1980s, the dealers started to get these posters from Belgium that you could get at the time really cheap, and they were just as original as the US or the UK posters, a little smaller, but this is how they used to advertise them, and the price has gone up considerably now. But I got quite a few of these, quite a few Hammer films as well from Belgium. So that one's from 1957. So there you go.
That's cool. Alrighty. Thank you,
And,
sir.
And there's the Kino Blu-ray right there.
Oh, look at that.
Prosecution.
Wow, that was easily found. What a librarian there.
He's always able to do that. He's known for that. But somehow he's always got them right there, which is pretty amazing. Let's see, where was I? Hello, Eddie.
Did it go back out? What the hell?
It's the least original. Battle for the Planet of the Apes, the least original. See, that's the only thing to me is that by the time you get there, you've really seen it all already and stuff. I don't. Yeah. I can only do movies on these more and more as time goes on. Videos on these movies as time goes on. Tired of hearing about the budgetary complaints. Tired of hearing about nobody. My big gripe is that nobody said a damn thing ever growing up about the Apes movies being budgeted.
You're right, Joe. Nobody did, but you know who did say them? The people making the movies said them.
No, you don't understand. They said them. They said them after 1998. Up to then, everybody who sees the documentaries, that's all they think about. And now they go and they preach a gospel, chapter and verse every time. Oh, too bad the budgets weren't bigger. I've said this a million times. How many billion-dollar movies do we know today that suck? And they don't have any of the charm, the heart, the character, the family values in a way of Battle for the Planet. They don't have anything like Battle has. It's the end of it's kind of the end of civilization. Everybody, the bomb destroyed a lot of it. They have a little group of survivors that clash. You don't need to have a gazillion people. I don't understand the logic. But anyway, what was I going to say about it? Yeah, so there wasn't much more that you could do with the series at that. I think you could, but I've got stories in my head that they could have continued with. Wait, but I have the book. I visited the Watergate Hotel.
Yeah, me too.
My mom and dad were in. We were living in DC at the time when that was first starting.
All right.
Interesting.
When you say first starting, you mean the film or the actual break-in?
The actual events. The actual.
Oh, cool.
Well,
yeah. Wow.
And the Planet of the Apes TV series, that was a disappointment. Well, here's the funny thing with that. I was 12 years old and looking forward to the TV series. And when it came on, I really didn't like it at the time in 1974 because I thought it wasn't like the first movie enough or the first two movies. You had the humans talking and then I realized
the two astronauts just they weren't good enough actors. It seemed to me they were so bland, both of them.
Oh well, I was all right with maybe the dark hair. What's his name?
James Norton, was it?
James Norton. I thought he was better.
Plus, they ran out of bullets.
Yeah, they ran out of bullets. Yeah, that's how they had taken. And I just didn't like it because it wasn't like that. Now, all these years later, I appreciate it and I like it now because I don't look for that. I don't look for it to be the first two movies. And also, I believe that the only way to make these stories of the Planet of the Apes interesting going forward, a lot of stories, a weekly TV series, if you will, in my opinion, you have to have the humans talking and civilized and the apes together. You have to have this confrontation and this problem trying to get along and, prejudice, if you like, between its species. That's the only thing that makes it work. Now you got the first movie. Yeah, great. First movie's great. Yeah. They have a future where humans are savage and they're hunted and caged. End of story. That's it. Except for the astronauts coming. At least in Beneath, they have the mutants coming too.
I would tend to think that if this TV series would have came first, it could have been successful. It could have worked. But I think since it came, how many did it come when all the movies were over, Joe, or did it come during while the movies were?
Yes.
Yeah, all the movies were over yet by then.
Yeah, it was too much like Cowboys and Indians to me. And the only episode that worked was that one where one of the astronauts is trapped underground with Urko.
That was my favorite episode.
And they got to work it out.
Well, there were I thought there were a lot of, that was my favorite episode, but there were actually pretty good ideas they had, which I think, because I've revisited it from time to time and I've changed my mind. There's one of them where there's a blind female chimp who, she can't see and she hates, she's racist, or if you want to call it racist, she hates humans, say racist, whatever. She hates human beings because they did something to her dad or something like that. Anyway, the story is the astronauts wind up coming along with Roddy McDowell, Galen, the ape character, and they have a relationship talking, and over time, the blind chimp falls in love with the astronaut, thinking he's an ape. Doesn't realize because he's blind, thinks that he's one of the apes. And one time says, "Let me touch your face," she says, and the astronaut's like panicking, and then Roddy McDowell quickly goes in to feel his face. Oh yeah, you're beautiful and all this, to help out. Anyway, and she learns that it's everybody's an individual. You don't judge everybody based on one thing, and that stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of ideas they did with this thing, which I didn't appreciate it in the beginning. I didn't care, but I did love the underground one with Urko.
Yeah,
like you said,
it doesn't change him any, does it? At the end, he's still a fucking. It's just called a truce because it's expedient, but I don't think Urko learns a damn thing out of that.
That Urko under the ground. Oh yeah, under the ground. Right at the end, he was still like, kill him. Yeah, it's a long story. They have to work together when they're trapped underground.
Yeah,
an astronaut and guerrilla general. They got to work together, but it doesn't matter. Hello, Mike. Link is there, Mike, for you. All right. Hey, Joe, I know you had a picture with Al Lewis. Yeah, Grandpa Munster. I enjoyed him hosting Super Scary Saturdays on TBS. Yeah, I remember something about that when he was the host or something, but yeah, I remember that. I don't have much to say about it. It was cool seeing him as the host.
Back in the Booze Bucks days.
Yeah.
Booze Bucks.
Yeah, Cigar Bucks, I think, too. 4D man, did you see Downhill Racer with Robert Redford, and what did you think of it?
Yeah, I was disappointed, and I'm a big fan of Robert Redford, but it didn't take for me. Maybe I need to see it again.
I watched it recently because Criterion released it and I picked it up. But you know what I didn't buy? I didn't buy Gene Hackman as the coach in that movie. I thought Redford was pretty good, but yeah, it could have been better. And Robert Redford did seem kind of older. I mean, kind of old to be like this great professional downhill, skier.
I think he was a little too old for the Sting, his role in the Sting too, but he made it work.
The problem I seem to remember is that there wasn't any real character development or development of any romance, and it feels like it had the same problem that Steve McQueen had in Le Mans in '74. But then again, when I watched Le Mans again, say a year ago, I could get into it. I accepted the very slow pace of it and the fact that there wasn't going to be any real relationship developing. And once I accepted that, I liked the movie. So maybe that'll be the case with Downhill Racer if I watch it again. Cheers.
Somebody, John likes your lobby cards. This doesn't really fit, but he started talking about it earlier.
Maybe another time, Eddie.
Okay, we'll save it for another time. Oh, we're getting a lot of apes questions now, so I'll let me tell you, I could do a whole apes channel. I'm not into it, man. Now here's a great question: which is better, Beneath the Planet of the Apes or Escape from the Planet of the Apes? In my opinion, well, that's a matter of opinion. Here's the thing: when I grew up, again as a kid, I thought Beneath was my favorite of the whole franchise. I love it, the underground stuff, the mutants. General Ursus with the helmet. I thought it was the greatest thing. Now I realize more as I've gotten older. I like it. It's a favorite, but I realize it's not the best quality movie of the bunch. I don't think.
Well, that's because the budget was reduced, Joe.
Yeah. And Escape. Go ahead.
No. You finish it, Joe.
Escape from the Planet of the Apes as a kid was my least favorite because there were only 2 apes in it. There's about Zero and Cornelius going back to the past in 1973. And, there weren't a lot of apes, so they were on Earth. Now I think that's the best of the sequels as far as cinematically.
Wasn't it 3 at first, but the Sal Mineo character?
Yeah, there were 3, but I go for 2 because they're in 99% of the movie. Yeah, right. Sal Mineo gets killed at the beginning, his character. We could spend all day, but there's no way they could have. There's no way those apes could have figured out how to pilot a ship. It's like, you know what? Leave me alone, will you? You know what I mean?
I liked Escape when it came out because the first time I saw Planet of the Apes in 1972, it was on a double bill with Escape from the Planet of the Apes. But over time, I feel like it's a bit too saccharine, a bit too cutesy.
Well, it is. It is saccharine and cutesy. But what I like about it is then it gets pretty deadly serious.
It does, yeah. Thanks to Eric Braeden, who's brilliant as the Dr. Halfline guy. So they made him the guy who invented time travel that caused the fucking problem. I guess that's the Halfline they're talking about. Yeah, it is. And I think Beneath is preferable because I just love it. As soon as James Franciscus goes into that underground situation, New York, is it New York Public Library?
Yeah,
one of those fallen arches. I love all that sort of molten ruins type of stuff. I just love that set so much. And
Wasn't that all matte painting? Wasn't that all matte painting?
Yeah, which is a lost art. A lot of it was matte painting. Yeah, it's like there's a scene where you see James Franciscus and Nova going down the tunnel.
Disappear.
But you know that he's going to have to make a right turn because up ahead you can see it's just a matte painting. He'd walk right into it, so you know he's going to turn right before he does. So it's kind of. But I don't mind that. I don't mind because I can still appreciate the artistry in matte paintings, even if I recognize.
And some of the sets are built. They use sets from Hello, Dolly,
right?
That was the cathedral. I think they melted cathedral, ruins of the St. Patrick's Cathedral, and they used. Was it also Hello, Dolly that they used for Grand Central Station or whatever? There's some of the stairs that they used.
Wow.
But that's expedient. But I mean, again, this is a whole show on its own. But the whole thing is that in the first movie, I as much as great as it is, the first movie, I think the second one makes you think it would cost more. There's more effect. There's more sets and scenery. Anyway,
right.
You got the helmet on the gorilla, which is a different outfit. you know, you got all those mutants, and they've got to pull their faces off with the masks and all that. There's just a lot more to it that makes it look more. So when everybody gets it in their head, it's cheap. Yeah, whatever.
And as for the two composers, they brought Leonard Rosenman in to do Beneath the Planet of the Apes. And he's been around since the James Dean movies. What he likes to do is put atonal dissonance into the score, and it worked perfectly for Beneath.
It works for that movie, absolutely.
And then when Escape from the Planet of the Apes came around, they brought Jerry Goldsmith back who scored the original film. So which is great. Any continuity I love in any of these mythological series, whether it be the old Universal horror films or in Planet of the Apes. You want as much continuity as you can get. I always feel so. It's good that they got Goldsmith back, but it was a good score. It was a good score, and he tried to incorporate bits of rock and roll into it because he was saying,
"Yeah, you got to think like at least I think again. It's the era. It's supposed to be the early '70s, and it's got that feeling like there's a scene when the apes are taken into a clothing store to buy, you know, people clothes. They're trying to get people clothes, and they have shopping theme of the shopping music. Yeah, it's really good music. Yeah, it's kind of corny by today's, but it's okay with me because it's the early '70s. It's kind of supposed to be that vibe.
Right, but out of the two scores, very unusually for me, because I think Goldsmith is the greatest film composer there's ever been, but I think Leonard Rosenman's score for Beneath is better than Jerry Goldsmith's.
Even the original Planet of the Apes, you think?
Oh no, nothing's better than the original score.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about Escape.
Yeah, if you're comparing Beneath and Escape, I think the better score, the more original is Leonard Rosenman's. It's a pity that on the album, which I used to have, there's dialogue tracks in the music tracks. I thought, why is that? Did he not compose much music? I thought he composed a full score for Beneath the Planet.
Well, if you ever can find the CD, there's a CD from Film Score Monthly that has regular music.
That's the one to get. Okay,
if you can find it. Okay. San Rafael last Saturday night, Stepping into the Unknown, films from the Bob Dylan Center. This is MP. Hey, MP. Ready? Hold on, it's continued here. After the conversation. License to Kill from Infidels. Gonna take his license to kill. He said, ooh. Yeah.
That should have been the theme song for License to Kill right there.
With great skill.
It'd be funny if Dylan had the theme song to a Bond film.
Any of you folks fans of the Hunger Games?
I saw the first one. Yeah, I saw the first one. I know it's funny now because the movie that came out last year, The Long Walk, everybody was, the Stephen King novella. Everybody was like, oh, it's just like the Hunger Games. Well, that came out, 30 years before the Hunger Games.
You're talking about the movie About Schmidt, which I like that movie. I only saw it once, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very fun hot tub scene, huh, Joe?
Is that with Kathy Bates?
Yeah.
You know what? I was trying to forget that, and ever since when you told me that, now I remember. I guess it's way back there somewhere.
Jack Nicholson had a phase a bit like Paul Newman did later on, where he was playing grouch after grouch after grouch.
Hey, look who's joined us here. It's Ramoga. And I gotta go play with the comments again. Where is it? There it is. I saw the series before the films. Initially, I was confused how Roddy was Galen on the show, but Cornelius in the films.
Yeah. Why didn't they they couldn't have called him. Could they have called him the same? They could have called him the same name, Cornelius.
I'm glad they didn't. Boy, did they confuse things. And not only that, I thought that because nothing to do with fans like me. This is a whole series. Try to figure ways for the TV show to go in the timeline, It really can't. And I got tons of reasons. I've spent this. I'm 12 years old, so I mean, I've thought a lot about this. And but anyway, they call the ape Urko in there instead of Ursus.
Yes.
Like beneath he's called Ursus. Thank God they didn't do that. And they call the orangutan Zaius, Counselor Zaius, or Councilman Zaius. He's not Dr. Zaius. That's the movie.
Now, did you think when it would have fit before the original Planet of the Apes or after the Planet of the Apes film?
I got so many things to say about it. I used to think the idea was that it could come after Battle for the Planet of the Apes, somewhere between Battle for the Planet of the Apes up in the original. The years work out that way. I'm not going to get into the years and all that. Yeah. It could work after we leave off at Battle, which would fit there. But there's other things too. I'm here as a kid, as a 12-year-old student of the apes, right? The first shot or first moments of the first episode, you see a dog barking. All dogs and cats died long before, in the 20th century. There can't be a dog.
Yeah, because
they don't need. They didn't have to write that in. Like, why did you even? You didn't need to write a dog in there.
No, because they had mentioned that in the reboot of Planet of the Apes that came out with what's his name a few years back. I'm not talking about the Tim Burton one. I'm talking about the more recent. They had said that all the pets had passed.
Well, they better watch them because again, it's a whole other kettle of fish, and I get very sensitive about it. It doesn't lead up to the Charlton Heston movie. There's a whole bunch of reasons for that too. The astronauts are different. The name of the ship was different.
Did you ever read the book? Did you ever read the book, Joe?
The Pierre Boulle book?
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago. I like the movie better, actually.
Yeah.
Same here. Very different. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the book, all right.
I mean, you had Rod Serling do the first flyby of the script for the original film.
Right.
And I think most of the astronaut stuff before the encounter of the apes comes from Rod Serling. After that, I'm not so sure.
Well, the ending of the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh, likely.
Yeah.
I did this. Sorry. I meant to say I was 8. Yeah. Can you show the whole London Town stand up that you have? Is that a standee or a poster?
It's just a cardboard with the album cover on it. Really,
giant poster.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, another come on. Time. No Beatles here.
Yeah, this is movie talk.
What do you think of the reboot of The Apes? I despise with every fiber of my being the Tim Burton movie. I hate everything about that movie. It is. I waited 30 years, roughly speaking, for this. I had all ideas on my own. I still thought then, and I think now, that they could have made a 6th film to the original franchise that works, and you don't necessarily have to have seen like the 5 in order to appreciate it. It can stand on its own, but yet it does fit also in that link.
3 things are certain in life: death, taxes, and Joe saying how much he despises the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, ask me
on the movie chat. And
I like Tim Burton. I thought, he might make this kind of like, I like what he did with Batman. He's a little dark. I thought he was going to do, and he made it a comedy. Man, you got an ape taking off his toupee, put it on a nightstand, taking out his false teeth. You got the chimpanzee woman coming in and they're going to bed together. She gets all horny. She's jumping around. This is not a joke, pal. It's not a joke. And I saw, don't get me wrong. People love to point out. I've been through it all, guys. People love to point out, there's jokes in the original too, with see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. It's one frame. That's a cute joke. Anyway, but as far as the newer series, I like that better, I
haven't seen any of those that are listed there in that comment. I haven't seen any of them.
You might enjoy them. You might enjoy them.
It's still, I still like, because it's dear to my heart, the originals. But I do like Andy Serkis playing, and again, don't call him Caesar, please. Caesar's Roddy McDowell. You got this too right away. And that's my least favorite of the bunch, War.
Yeah,
I don't like that they have a character named Nova in there. They got to call it No. I can't stand when any film gives too many nudges to names, I forget what some of the names they do in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It gets ridiculous after a while. A character's called Maurice because of Maurice Evans, but that's all right. I could handle that. Little jokes here and there, lines from the original, like in the Tim Burton film. One of the gorillas says, "Take your paws off me, you damn dirty human."
Yeah.
He's trying to like, oh, how cute. You're cute. I get it. It's picking a spin on that Heston line. Just knock it off. Anyway, you see how I am about it. Well, anyway,
it's just them paying homage to the original. Sometimes
I
works,
hate it.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That I'll agree with. Sometimes it does work. But anyway, yeah, out of the new series, my favorite ones are Dawn. Dawn is my favorite one. The second one, and the last one that was out, I liked a lot. Kingdom, Dawn and Kingdom are my favorite ones. All righty. Abbott doesn't know he's inside the skin. Is that with the bear? What are we talking about with that? Planet of the Apes channel. And by the way, Tom, have you seen anything or did you buy anything?
Yeah. 4D man, do you know who spent the most money on a cinema ticket ever?
You?
No, it was George Harrison when he
he
helped pay for Life of Brian, which I can't stand that comment. I don't, Eric Idle likes to say that, because George Harrison, mortgaged his home to pay for Life of Brian, it's the most money ever paid for a cinema ticket.
No, I wanted to see the movie, so.
Yeah. So Criterion just finally upgraded to Blu-ray.
There's a lot of extras in that as well, isn't there, Tom?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's filled with extras. And then I did pick up one of my favorites from the early 2000s, Master and Commander with Russell Crowe. Always liked this one a lot. So, but yeah. And I watched Network last night. I still think it's one of the best movies from the 70s. Fantastic. Faye Dunaway, William Holden, Peter Finch, all great performance. Robert Duvall was fantastic in that.
Real life, we talked about that 3 weeks in a row for some reason.
Yeah.
And
then I started the movie Angel Heart from '87 with
I know.
Mickey
Lisa
Rourke.
Bonet.
Lisa Bonet. Yeah, and Bobby D. And I was enjoying that, but I got a little tired, so I'm gonna finish that tonight.
Sure.
That's one of those. I always feel like any film that's set in either San Francisco or New Orleans has got a head start even before the cameras turn over. They've got a head start if you go on location to one of those two cities.
Okay, 4D, you have all the Apes movie soundtracks. Well, they don't have many on vinyl, really.
No, I don't have the Tom Scott Conquest.
Yeah, Conquest, that's lacking.
I used to have Leonard Rosenman's Beneath, but I sold that in 1990.
I think he also did Battle, by the way, Leonard Rosenman. I think he did.
Yeah, I think you're right. But that's not available either, is it, Joe? I've never seen it.
It's on CDs. They were.
Okay, so that's one for me to get as well.
Those and they're worth getting.
Yeah. So and actually, I know it's available on CD, but I haven't got Jerry Goldsmith's Escape from the Planet.
Yeah, that's on CD. Yeah, those three. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've lapsed badly there, actually.
Raising Arizona. I think I don't remember liking that in the theater. That's
I remember the first time I saw that, and I'm like, oh man, this is fantastic. But they've got so many more better movies than Raising Arizona.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hello, Mike. There is a first season Twilight Zone episode. Astronauts are on Earth without realizing it.
Yeah, and Rod Serling did that one, which is why I think he's the chief writer, who's because other writers wrote over him after he did his first draft. But my guess is that the first the first 15 minutes of Planet of the Apes is probably the way he wrote it.
Mm.
Okay. Very
Jack
good.
Cassidy. Oh yeah. The guy with the little poodle, the gay guy with the little poodle. I think he's the one he meets.
I would not see that. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm so done with Johnny Depp, and I'm kind of done with Tim Burton too. Their first few collaborations were fantastic, but I mean, you can only Johnny Depp playing Mr. Dress Up every movie. He just.
Although I wouldn't be caught dead seeing that, I'm surprised I did see this.
It was a fun time. I remember that was it's a terrible movie, but it was fun talking about it
It's totally unmemorable. But I remember I had my head set straight a certain way for it.
Yes.
I didn't try to. Let me not compare this to the original. Let me take it on its own merits. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would, but it's useless, it's pointless as usual. Yep. You don't need that. Let's see. People are talking in there.
I've got one more large lobby card set that I can show you.
Okay, hang loose. I was amazed by Devil's Rejects when I saw it. I went to the theater. That's the first Rob Zombie film I ever saw. I didn't know anything about him. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a modern day, at then 2004, modern day Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought it was very effective. And I didn't see, and then I saw his Halloween movies, and I said, these suck. After that, I never saw the first. There was one a prequel, Devil's Rejects, that I didn't see. The House of a Thousand Corpses, which was
right. Yeah.
I heard that was a little silly, but Devil's Rejects, no fooling around.
No, I have no interest in seeing those movies. None.
Yeah, the only one who was really decent in the movie of the zombie monsters was I forget his name, who played the Grandpa. He was also a big fan, so he was all right, I thought.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of having your wife in every movie either. I wonder how she got the job.
Yeah,
she really slept her way to the top.
Yeah, you think? Will you be seeing the Odyssey, the new Christopher Nolan movie?
Yes, absolutely.
That Streets of San Francisco comment. I have a feeling that although Carl Malden isn't in it, when Basic Instinct does the opening shot of Michael Douglas's intro with his car coming up to the crime scene house. I feel that the way they filmed that, it was a nod to the Streets of San Francisco. Whether it was or not, I don't know, but it felt like that to me.
Yeah, when is the Michael Jackson movie open? Is it open already?
I'm seeing it Wednesday. There's an early access screening on Wednesday, which I'm going to see, and then you can start. Then you can go Thursday, so it's this week. It's this week.
Best Times at Ridgemont High is playing at that theater around here, but I don't know. If my girlfriend's, if she wanted to go, I'd go, but I wouldn't go. I've seen it in the theater. So when it first came out in the theater, I don't love the movie. I mean, it's nostalgic for me, but I don't love it.
I'm trying to remember if one of the special features on the Criterion was the TV edit of the movie.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, because there was some different scenes in the TV edit.
Yeah, true. We got time for just 30, 40 more questions. This is a good time, 4D man, if you have stuff.
I haven't opened these in about 20 years, so I can't remember what the images are. But I thought it was really cool that it came in the rank organization envelope, which I've never had any other front of house sets like that before. But when I bought them, that's what it came in, what the distributors sent to the cinema manager. And Deadlier Than the Male is one of those 1960s spy spoofs that Dean Martin in America started to borrow off, but they originated in America. So this is 1966, Deadlier Than the Male, and it had a theme song by Scott Walker. So you get mild sort of sadomasochism creeping in when they could get it past the censors. That was part of all these spy spoofs tended to have that. And it was the start of women starting to look sporty and athletic in films and taking a
Wow.
they're about to push that guy over a balcony.
Okay.
But it's all done very tongue in cheek, which is how they got it past it's how they got it past the censor, is that it's all played for laughs. But I've actually got censorship reports where they're trying to persuade the directors to have the male actors perpetrate the violence and not the women.
2 reasons to see it.
It's not a bad film.
Yeah.
It's really well shot. It's really well shot, actually, and it did get a sequel made, but the sequel isn't very good. But 1966, there was a lot of money coming into the UK from America, so the production values of UK films in the mid 60s started to look pretty good for a while.
Yeah, the whole spy genre really took off there in the mid 60s. I wonder why.
Yeah, well, they were all borrowing off James Bond, weren't they? As soon as
yeah, exactly.
As soon as Dr. No came out, they were all on the bandwagon.
Right.
Speaking of James Bond, with all the revival shows I've ever gone to, I don't think I've ever seen any of the old Bond films at those. You know, I saw them in the theater, beginning with The Spy Who Loved Me is the first one I saw in the theater, and then I saw them all after that. But the 60s ones, you know, and Sean Connery, you know, I wish, you know, I know that theater that's 3 hours drive for me had, I think, a double feature. I don't know if they had Goldfinger, maybe From Russia with Love and Goldfinger together or something.
Well, in 1968, my parents took me to see a double bill, which was You Only Live Twice and From Russia with Love at my local cinema, which was a beautiful Art Deco cinema with a balcony. And we were sat up in the balcony. And the minute that volcano lid slid back, that took the roof right off my imagination. I was just so amazed by that, just amazed. And decades later, when I was reading about the making of it, you know, that at the time, that volcano set was the largest outdoor set in Europe that had been made. And it was causing traffic problems because I think it was the M1 motorway it was visible from the M1 motorway, and you were getting drivers rubbernecking at the volcano as they're driving past at 70 miles an hour. But for a kid, what a treat that was. You know, in those days, you know, my class had black and white televisions, cathode ray tubes, small. So to be exposed to that on a big screen was just amazing to me. Just amazing.
Sure, I can imagine.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Classic sequence that on the steps. We're in Manchester.
Excuse me. Okay. You have a fine collection of film photos.
Cheers.
Of course. For Russia with Love and You Only Live Twice are very different films. Yeah, I don't like You Only Live Twice as much, to say the least. It's one of my least favorite of Sean Connery's, maybe.
Do you not like all the rigmarole where he's been geared up as a Japanese and having to marry?
That's silly, but not because of that. But I don't know. That might, you know, something's got to be the weakest.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
not counting Never Say Never Again.
All I can say is that it has the best Blofeld of any actor. I think he's perfect for Blofeld. He doesn't match the way Ian Fleming wrote him at all. But I just think Donald Pleasance put his stamp on that, and why they didn't bring him back, I have no idea.
That's one thing I hate about the Bond films, that they change Blofeld so many times, and I do not like Telly Savalas's Blofeld, and I do not like On Her Majesty's Secret Service at all.
No, I don't.
And I'm the only one. I'm one of the few, very few, But I like the idea of him being maybe always in secret, like the way they started having him in the shadows with the cat. You never know what he looks.
Right.
But who would I say? I always thought that the way I would envision him to be, based on that, I buy. Let me get it straight. I don't ever know how to say his Max von Sydow or Sydow, however you say it, Sydow.
Yeah.
As Blofeld in the later, never say never again. I could get him as and I also like the best Blofeld to me, who he's not Blofeld, but he should have been. Is the guy from The Spy Who Loved Me, Kurt? What's his last name? The guy.
Jurgens.
Yeah. He to me, if he would have played Blofeld, he seems like there's the voice. I don't know. I kind of like could picture that. I mean, what he looked like, but I don't know. When you get to Telly Savalas and Donald Pleasance, I don't know. And Charles Gray, forget it. I mean, I just don't get that either.
I've got dozens of these. These were a series of James Bond vehicles with a backdrop from the different films. And so this one's from You Only Live Twice. So they pick a scene out. They pick a scene out of the film, and they do a die cast iron metal copy of it.
The transparent one is the only person who loves Diamonds Are Forever. I wish it made a little more sense. At times, I don't know. I think it's kind of convoluted. I cannot stand those henchmen. Forget about it.
Oh, camp, very camp.
I can't take those henchmen in there, but. And that guy can't act. The guy with the longish hair. What's his name? I don't know who's who.
And Connery he was carrying weight, and he was out of condition in that film. Connery, I thought. And I saw it when it first came out, and I was disappointed by it. I came out disappointed.
Who loves you, baby?
It's got a great score by John Barry, though, but you could say that about On Her Majesty's Secret Service as well. You can't have, like Jerry Goldsmith used to say, no great score ever saved a bad movie.
And plus, they kept reducing the budgets for all these films.
Right. What, for the James Bond film?
It was just the Planet of the Apes joke.
Right.
I actually wasn't listening. I was reading the comments, getting ready to see what I was going to.
I think it was the opposite problem with James Bond is they threw too much money at it.
Too much money at it, yeah.
In the same way that the unofficial ones like Casino Royale, they definitely threw too much money at that.
Well, and then they had these big names in it, and they had all these big names in these guys too, and I'm sure they all wanted money. They're throwing money at them. Yeah.
Really I didn't even know Kurt Jurgens' character in Spy was supposed to be Blofeld, but they couldn't get the rights to the character. Really?
Okay.
Spring Hill Jim, hello, greetings. Hell is a city.
Yeah,
I know Val Guest.
Yeah, that was filmed in Manchester on location as well. So there's a lot of recognizable locations of Manchester in Hell is a City, 1959.
Yeah, is that Mr. Wint? I mean, Transparent Man is saying it's the guy's Winton Kid. Yeah, that baldy guy from there. I like Diamonds Are Forever.
Great score. Yeah. Great score. That's the best thing I can say about it.
Let's see. Live and Let Die, which is not one of my favorite Bond movies, actually. I like some things in it, but
yeah.
There you go.
No, I know it's always McCartney fans want to say Live and Let Die is the best one, but it's by far the best. And I think it's a bad intro for what's his name as a Bond movie.
Roger Moore,
yeah.
David Niven was easily the best Bond.
Patrick McGowan might have been the best Bond, but he turned it down twice in the 1960s.
Anthony Dawson. I remember him in the No. Yeah. Let's see. I hate the Daniel Craig films. They suck the fun out of Bond. I do like Casino Royale. I do. But after that, well, I don't know. Also, what's the other one I liked?
Skyfall was really good.
Skyfall, I like too. Yeah. Well, I still have to see. I still got to be. I haven't seen the last two. I got Spectre and No Time to Die or whatever it is. I'm afraid to watch both. And I hated Quantum of Solace. That might always the worst Bond film.
Spectre was not a very good movie, not because of any recent, word that people like to say, but that the last one, I think, they really ruined it.
Diamonds.
Was that the one that was set in Venice as well, or they went to Venice to film some of it? I get mixed up the new ones.
Or wasn't that the Casino Royale? I mean, was also filmed in there too?
I don't know. I'm a bit sketchy on all the new ones.
Yeah.
But that's another city where if you're gonna go on location in Venice, your film's got a head start.
How about the third Knives Out film with Daniel Craig?
Yeah, I've only saw the first Knives Out film. It's good little movie. Daniel Craig is really good in that, but I didn't see the next two.
Memorabilia up to the roof.
That's actually true. You can't see them, but above the AGA sanction, there's lots of manila envelopes full of 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s magazines like Rolling Stone and Film Comment and Sight and Sound.
I know the Invisible Man. He likes Live and Let Die. I remember using a clip of that guy exploding. It's ridiculous. That is so bad, that scene.
It's
with
a
the guy exploding.
Bad special effect. Very bad special effect.
Hitchcock made the best Bond film, North by Northwest.
They do say that about North by Northwest, don't they?
This question always comes up. I go, nobody does it better. Carly Simon. You gotta understand, I'm 15 years old, never saw a Bond film, big screen, Spider Love Me, and then I bought the 45 and played it endlessly. That's my favorite Bond song. Goldfinger, also the song I love.
It's the best one. However, when Live and Let Die is playing, you can't deny how just powerful it is.
It's funny, like you would think that I would say that my best Bond song would be Live and Let Die, but for some reason I don't think it fits that movie very well.
No,
it doesn't affect the song, but
But nobody does it better. It's like perfectly written for a Bond film,
There's a bit of a story about how the song Live and Let Die originated, which it'd be too long to go into now. But revisionists are now getting it. They're actually getting the lyrics wrong, and there are established books about Paul McCartney that you can buy now. I've got a couple.
I know what you're talking about.
And they actually mistranscribe the lyric, and then you get to the point where Chrissie Hynde doesn't like the lyric anyway, so she makes a version of Live and Let Die, and she changes the lyric, and now you've got a new generation coming up who don't realize what the original lyric was. And also, therefore, they won't appreciate the ingenuity that McCartney had in drafting that lyric in the first place. I won't go into it, but the whole point, the whole existence of that song began with that line that some people hate and some people love. So the song didn't exist at all.
I don't know which line, but this is Which We're Living. Is that the one?
That's the one. Yeah.
Is it in which world in which we live in? Or is it this in which we're living?
Yeah, well, what now?
Which we're living.
Yeah, now the revisionist people are saying that it's in which we live. WE''RE in which we're living, and that's not correct. It is, in fact,
which we live in.
We live in.
We live in.
Yeah. I'll try and summarize it really tight.
We got 5 minutes, so let's go.
Okay, so Paul McCartney sat at home in Cavendish Avenue. He's watching television in 1972, and he's watching BBC Two. And BBC Two, out of the 3 channels in the UK, that was the posh channel. That was a channel where if you were going to watch Oxford intellectuals debate about politics and culture, you're going to find them on BBC Two. Paul McCartney's watching a debate, and one of the guys comes out with this phrase that you would never use in conversation, except these Oxford Dons on BBC Two, which is "in which we're living," and in which we live in. But instead of doing what any other songwriter would do, which is stay clear of that a mile away, because it's going to ruin any song you put it in, because the listener's going to trip up over it. McCartney set himself a challenge, which is, how would you integrate that into a song so that it actually assimilates? And so that's the origins of it, which is that's as far as we need to go with it. But the way that he did it, in terms of layering it into the rest of the lyrics, is inspired that he did that. And it's not even my favorite McCartney song, but the way that he took that line and he managed to layer it in with the other lyrics in that verse was just brilliant.
This is the way I've always heard it this way. That's how I've always, when I was a kid, and I always heard it that way, in which we live in.
Yeah. That's the way he wrote it.
So let's see. Glass Onion, Second Knives Out film. Guess what song they play? Glass Onion. I guess. I don't know. Worst Bond for me is Die Another Day, and best is From Russia with Love. I don't like Die Another Day much at all, but I'll take it over Quantum of Solace.
Yeah. I really like For Your Eyes Only, too. I love the way Sheena Easton, I'm a big Sheena Easton fan.
Yeah. So that's good, decent. And they got Roger Moore being a little bit, nasty in there. At least one scene.
I'd say From Russia with Love, or maybe Dr. No. It'd be one of those two for me.
I like Dr. No. I don't think enough people, rate that enough.
No, I it's not as exciting. I mean, it is. I think I find it a tad boring, Dr. No, unfortunately.
Poor John Barry on that. So he did that orchestration for the James Bond theme. He took Monty Norman to court twice and lost both times. But there was two parts to the argument. I only read an interview with him last week that made me realize there were two parts to his cause. One is that he transformed that theme so much that he should have had at least a co-writer credit, and the royalties that would have come in from that would have been huge.
Yeah, he would have been set for life.
But also, what he was commissioned just to do that theme. He wasn't commissioned to compose the whole film. And then when he went to see it like everybody else. He stood in line at the premiere. He wasn't a guest or anything. He went to see it, and he was appalled by the fact that not only did they use the theme at the beginning, which is what he was contracted for, paid for, but they kept cutting it into all the other scenes to jazz it up. So in effect, he did the score, except for the incidental stuff like Underneath the Mango Tree, and he got no credit for that and no payment for it. But they sort of talked him round by saying, well, look, if this franchise takes off, you're our go-to guy. And they did keep their word for that. But as the years went by, it started to rankle on him more and more, to the point where he went to court to try and get a co-credit.
You're right. I'm not a fan of AI. I did see couple of those ridiculous clips.
Some of them were funny.
Yeah. Iger's sanction is a bore. You never know what that gentleman, if he's just saying it just to be outrageous, or if he means it. We're getting near the end of our show. In fact, I got to wrap it up. Wait a minute. What are 4D Man's feelings of Jeff Beal as a TV composer?
Well, I'm sorry to say I've never heard of him. Is he a new guy? Because if he's beyond the 1980s, the chances are I haven't seen any film that Jeff Beal scored. What's he done?
Tell us quickly.
Yeah,
Magnum Force is a good sequel.
Yeah, it is. It is a good sequel. Better than the first film, I think.
Well, I'm glad I was able to at least get a show going here. I'm glad you two guys were able to come up. Apologies to Tim Allen. I sent the invitation. I didn't decide till the end I was going to do it. He might not have got the invitation, obviously. So, because I wasn't going to do the show. All right, well, that's it. Chow's on. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate the comments. Appreciate everybody getting into it. Thank you very much. I'm working on it. Yeah. And okay. Have a lovely evening. Thank you, everybody. We'll do it again real soon. Cheers.